Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm here with my friend Koi Fresco.
Greetings everybody.
And we're doing the part 2 of our videos. The other video is going to be on his channel, and we just did a Q&A video that was really awesome. I'm going to go ahead and link it down below. It was a lot of fun. That was good. There's some good questions in there as well. And then we're actually going to be speaking about letting go today. And the reason I'm having Koi talk about it is because I have a lot of people ask me how and what is the most powerful technique that we can go for letting go of the outcome to attract what we want. And recently my boy Koi just came out with an awesome book. It is called The Meditation Manual, and it is coming out. When does it exactly launch?
It should be out by the time this video's out.
Yeah, because it'll take a week to get this video out.
The 18th, so it's up now. It's on Amazon, it's on Kindle. Just type in the meditation manual, and then if you go on my website, koifresco.co, there's going to be an audiobook version and signed copies there as well. So I really think it's an amazing little book. It can help you out learning how to meditate. It's a comprehensive all-in-one guide, and I hope you enjoy it. If you do,
yeah, I'll pick it up. I'll link it down below as well for you guys, so feel free to check it out. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the letting go techniques that we can use towards attracting what we want. Now, first off, let me just say that letting go is a very important part of the process, because many times we get resistance if our intention is to attract something into our life, and we're so attached to how things we think need to happen, that causes resistance because we are so focused on how things need to happen, which is why I always talk about trusting the process and being happy with where you already are. That's an important part as well. So what I'm going to go ahead and share what your powerful techniques are for letting go and what you personally use for the process. And
yeah, well the biggest things with letting go is that in almost every religion and philosophy for the past thousands of years, suffering has been the #1 problem with everything we do in life, is that we suffer. And we suffer because we don't let go, we attach. This is the whole foundation of Buddhism. It's why Buddhism exists, because we need to learn how to stop suffering. We need to learn how to stop holding on. Our clinging is ruining our life. And so with things like the law of attraction, especially, if we're clinging to how we expect something to be or want something to be with no room to change, it's like the Buddha explained it, it's kind of like being, a brittle branch on an old tree versus a blade of grass on the ground, right? The blade of grass will move with the wind and change. It's open to change. It has to be. And by doing that, it survives. It continues on. It stays healthy. By swaying, it starts to grow, and those foundations and fibers start to become stronger to hold the grass and root it more. Yep. So we become more rooted in the moment with everything. But if we're brittle like the branch and we don't want to change anything about us, it will break. The branch will break off, it'll fall to the ground, and it will decay. And that goes with us as well as human beings. When we don't move, when we don't budge, when we hold on, no matter what it be, we are putting ourselves in a position where everything around us will start to break us down, because we are expecting reality to follow our steps, which is the ego. The ego is wanting life to be this way. And life doesn't follow the ego's path, life follows life's path. All the ego can do is go with it, is sway with it like the blade of grass. So that's what we have to learn how to do as well. And what the Buddha would say, the biggest method, what I too think is the biggest method to, again, being with everything, is living in the moment. That's the #1 thing. And it's very cliche, but it really is being with the now. Because if we aren't with the now, that's the reason we cling. Because we're obsessed with what the future is going to be, what we're going to get, the expectations, what my life will be, what I want. But if we're here and now and we have an idea of what we want, we're okay with understanding that getting there can take a lot of different steps. It's not always going to be from point A to point B. Sometimes point A to point B has a bunch of loopy-loops and curls and twists and zigzags before we get there. But those things all strengthen you. They give you experiential parts of reality that you don't get if you're obsessed with it being one way. So that's a big factor in letting go, is just knowing that you have to be able to roll with the punches. You have to be able to change with it. And not just to change with it in a, I have to change. It's more so, I'm excited to see this change. How can I use this situation as a learning process, as a tool? How can I see the challenge in this while still having my mind and my manifestations focused on what I know my reality will be in the future? Exactly.
Yeah, and it's, once again, we were just talking about this on his channel as well. I talk a lot about holding the frame. Having the vision of what you want and not assuming that because an obstacle or a road bump comes in the way that everything is off course now. What if that could show you something, a little bump, obstacle can show you something that you didn't know before, and it can actually, if you hold the frame, if you keep focused on what you're doing regardless of what's happening, and you keep adjusting and adapting, that then is where the benefit comes through. So realize also the ego, what the ego can imagine, the best possible case scenario, what the ego can imagine, may only be the floor for what could really happen. Because our ego can only think and recreate homes with bricks that are already there. We can't actually create anything really new with the ego. It comes from inspiration. It comes from that kind of intuition. And that's where creation comes from. But the idea is to more so realize the job of the ego is to stay focused in a certain direction, but the power is in the awareness of when we're being attached to how things happen.
And that's the problem with the ego, is the ego's obsession is security, is building a foundation. All the ego wants is to know that it's okay.
Right.
So for us, if we're manifesting a future, if we're using the law of attraction to create things, all the ego wants to know is that it's going to make it happen. And so for the ego, it doesn't want to take extra steps to allow that to happen because that worries it that it won't happen. It gets scared that it might get lost or things might change. But that's what we need to realize, and what we can use a tool called 360 concept is what they kind of teach in Eastern philosophies. Is basically, so let's say take right now, we're filming this video. We have in our minds right now a manifestation and a practice of we're going to make this video and put it online and get views. We're going to have people watch this video and hopefully it can help them. But we also, if we're obsessed with that and the camera turns off or the sound isn't on, like it almost
we were almost worried about that.
Yeah, we were worried, but at the same time we realized we have 2 cameras. Okay, things are all right. We'll make this work. If not, we'll film it again. We're okay with the change. In that situation, if we would have been brittle and held on to, no, this is ruining the day, we wouldn't have even sat down to film this video. So what we can do is use a 360 method, and that is saying that while I'm filming right now, everything might go fine as I'm planning for it to go, but at the same time, everything might go completely wrong. And
okay, I've heard of this.
And if I'm okay
like
with
this.
that, I'm now understanding at the same time 2 different modes of reality that are possible. So no matter what happens, I'm not going to be upset or defensive or resistant to it because I'm already consciously understanding both possibilities. It's not that I'm saying I want one more than the other, it's knowing that one possibility will happen, but being aware that even though the second possibility won't happen, it might.
Right.
So it's just an awareness of it, not manifesting it, but just being aware of the negative side of what we're doing. Because if we ignore it, that's where the pain comes in, that's where the suffering comes in. If we perceive
But be aware of it, to watch it, to observe it.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a difference.
If we perceive the road as not having bumps, we're going to get upset when the bumps happen.
Exactly.
But if we can perceive the road as having bumps, we're not going to care. We're going to just go over them as we would have done no matter what.
Yep.
It's only when we become obsessed with what we're practicing, what we're chasing, that ignorance and that ignoring completely of what can become a problem starts to affect us and hurt us.
Exactly, because anytime you are so focused on what you want, you still have activated the absence of what you want, because we sometimes come at it from a point of not feeling the emotion of what we want. If we want more money, we want more security, we want more freedom. But the thing is that gap, because we're not feeling the emotions now, that's where the resistance comes in. And anytime we're focused on anything, we sometimes become, if we're attached to it, we become vulnerable to the opposite of it happening. Because if it does happen, it's this really bad thing. If it doesn't happen the way we want or according to the blueprint we have in our mind. So it's important to neutralize it as much as it is to have that intention. Intention is great. Attention is so powerful. But don't become attached to the outcome
of the intention.
Of the intention. Do the intention for the sake of intention. I talk a lot about the power of visualization. The powerful part of visualization is you are not visualizing in order to get anything you don't already have. You are using visualization as a tool towards feeling the emotions of what you want. So you do it for the sake of doing it. You're not doing it because it gets you somewhere else. When you meditate, it's the same thing. Now, a side effect for me of meditation is it does leak into the rest of my day.
Yes.
But I do it for the sake of meditation. I do things for the sake of doing them, and that allows me to detach from the outcome and then to really get the full benefit. That's where becoming present really is.
And what people have to see too, with especially things like letting go, is we need to get out of the mind state completely of letting go as an option. It shouldn't be an option. It should be a primal part of our day. Everything, we should always practice this aspect of basically reworking our perception and our conception of reality to understanding both sides of any given event. We shouldn't think, oh, maybe I should think about letting go of this. It should always be with everything we do in our life, how we are mindful, how we live, knowing what we're doing, knowing what we're going for, knowing what is probably going to manifest for us, but understanding we have to be able to allow it not to happen at the same time. We have to be able to let go of everything. And that, by doing that, is one of the most powerful tools you can use in your life. That's what liberation is. The state of nirvana is quite literally translated to a state of non-suffering. It's where we live beyond suffering, where we're with everything and we're helping how we can and we're living a moral life as best we can, but at the same time we're never affected by anything not going the way we are assuming it to go, because we're always going to be a little bit ahead of ourselves, wanting things to happen away or wanting to get things. We just have to at the same time let go of it. We have to. If you're ever living without letting go as a part of your day, you're putting yourself at risk for that pain and essentially for that suffering. So it should be a natural thought with everything you do, is knowing that yes, I'm going this way, but I need to at the same time think about what if it doesn't go this way, and become okay with that. And that makes your day a lot more peaceful, a lot more blissful.
It does.
Because nothing can throw you off. You know you're okay no matter how it goes. And that's a beautiful feeling. It's a very free feeling. You feel like, usually in our daily life we feel as if it's a competition and the world's against us. So it's a great feeling to not ever have to worry about anything competing with you, and knowing that the world is just a thing doing its thing. Alan Watts says we're just humans humaning. The world is just the world worlding. So it's not. It has no agenda to it. It has nothing. It's not out to get us. Reality's not trying to throw us off, but it just does sometimes, because we have a perception of what we want being the most important thing, and we have to let go of that.
Yeah, that helps to neutralize it. You know, one of the ways I try to look at reality every now and then is I see reality as a sort of a game. Because a game is playful, a game is fun, and with that, it's easier to let go of being attached to it. In the same way you might have a certain dream, you might not be attached to the dream once you wake up in the morning. In the same way, I'm not attached to the game, but I use it in a powerful way of knowing that that's how I can kind of treat it. I can treat it as something I can let go of, something I can have fun with. A lot of letting go as well can be completely dissolved with a good sense of humor. You know, someone like Osho.
Life is humorous at its essential nature.
It is.
If we don't accept it as humorous, that's when we start to get upset, because
the rigidity. It's not happening the way I'm supposed to.
We start taking it serious. Oh, very serious. This is I have to be a serious person, a serious ego, and live a serious
Seriousness
life.
comes with rules. We have rules. I can feel good when.
Seriousness is fear incarnate, as how I like to see it. You know, when we're serious, we're scared. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's underneath the surface. So that's why letting go is one of the most powerful things that you can do. If you let go of your outcome of what you want to experience, if you do the 360 technique, just like Koi was expressing and talking about, I think it could radically change the kind of results that you're getting, because you're going to start to detach from the outcome, and you're going to start to also be more playful with it. Treat it like a game. Have fun with it. Don't be attached to it, but in that neutral space of awareness is where everything begins to change. So go ahead and check the video out down below of the Q&A we just did. We did an awesome Q&A. We had probably 5 or 6 questions. A couple of them were really deep.
Really controversial.
So some of them will be controversial. You'll see in the title. And other than that, this video will be linked down, or this book will be linked down below. This is Koi's new book. And I'll go ahead and link that down below. If you guys want more on letting go, understanding meditation in general, go ahead and pick that up as well. So,
thank you so much.
Of course, thank you for coming on again. Yes, I think I had a great time making it. I think it'll add a lot of value, so I'm excited that we were able to do it.
And if you guys have any feedback on letting go or want to know more from me or Aaron, just comment down below.
We'll reply to questions for sure. And other than that, we will see you guys on the next vid. Peace. Much love. Namaste.